inactivated.
Dude, yeah. Haven't had an episode in a minute here.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah?
I'm just like generally tired, you know?
I haven't even done anything.
Is it because you were bottoming all weekend? Is that why?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you gay?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought that's bad.
Wow. No, dude, Tony, I can't talk to you now. This is bad.
This is going to be a weird podcast where
Yeah,
we can
dude,
both only talk to Connor.
You need to go to therapy.
You just being here like, tell Max that I said we're in the same Zoom call.
Hey, call Max a slur that I can't say. It's like, can you do that for me? Can you do that for me since you're half gay as well?
Since you're half gay? Since you're mixed race dick?
Since you're mixed gayness? Oh my god.
Too much.
Yeah. No, it's been I'm tired. Yeah, it's from bottoming for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, dude.
I'm also tired because I've gone out 3 nights in the last 4 days. So
yeah.
You did that to yourself.
You did that to yourself.
Tony's just on his fucking personal responsibility wave today. He's like, that's just because you're going against God. And that's
make your bed or whatever Jordan Peterson
dude.
says.
Because you didn't make your bed this morning, dude. That's why you're tired.
Eat your vegetables, okay?
It's
Do
because
better.
you didn't eat any baby carrots for lunch.
Men have to eat vegetables every day, or women will control their minds.
You must eat your broccoli.
Yeah.
Butternut squash.
You have to eat
Your
your sweet
butternut
potatoes.
squash. You better not forget your butternut squash.
Contrary to popular belief, sweet potatoes are actually the less gay ones.
Imagine that's your sleep paralysis demon. Like Jordan Peterson just comes out of your closet in the dark and then just his voice is echoing in silence. He's just like,
You better not forget your butternut squash.
You have to.
he doesn't hurt you or like scare you. It just reminds you to eat vegetables and clean your room.
Yeah, it just reminds you that you have chores to do.
Yeah.
A nightmare.
As a man, you can't forget to clean your bathroom.
The awaking nightmare, dude.
Make sure you dust your dresser drawers.
And your ball sack.
Yeah, dry your ball sack out or bacteria will form.
Make sure
Yeah,
to
Kevin
curl your ball
Samuels,
sack
but he's-
hairs.
But he's Jordan Peterson. He's like,
Yeah.
now what you're going to have to do is lift your sack and clean your ass crack.
Cheese, clean your
And
balls.
scrub that for a good 4 or 5 minutes.
The thing that terrified
your
me growing
balls
up
don't stink.
was realizing how many men don't know to wash. Like how many people just don't know to wash their whole body. It's horrifying. That's the thing that horrified me growing up.
Yeah,
But people are like, listen, you got to scrub your balls. And it's like, why are you talking about this like it's like a thing no one does?
like it's free game.
Right.
Yeah. What?
Yo, I'm going to put you onto some game real quick, fellas. So what
Yeah.
you got to do is you got to clean your ass.
Yeah.
And
Like people don't know how to wipe
women
their
love that.
ass or clean their ass, apparently. That's what
Yeah.
people are saying. That's what
It's-
these people are saying, folks.
Well, some people are afraid to get down there, though. You know, they're
What?
like afraid of their own beehole. You know, they don't want to like get near.
It's a
it. Like,
scary. It's scary.
I'm actually
It's a scary,
afraid.
muscular, tight thing.
yeah, it's an orifice. Yeah.
If you don't respect your butt, it will clamp down.
crumbs everywhere.
People should,
Your
you know,
hand.
it's true. From an early age, children should be less scared of their butthole. We should
Yeah.
explain what a butthole is, how it
Yeah.
works, what you
It's
need to
not
do
your
with
enemy.
it. Yeah.
just the concept that
Friend.
like that poop just will be on it, you know, and you kind of gotta
Yeah.
you gotta
Not if you're
remedy
friendly
that.
with it.
You got to be responsible for your ass and the poop that comes out of it. That's just a
Exactly.
big topic here at
Like-
Welcome Boke, folks.
Because at the end of the day, you know, shitting's a part of life, and you've got to be comfortable with that.
Mhm.
We need that on a t-shirt. Someone in the Discord make that. That's
Because
true.
here's the thing: the book "Everybody Poops" is a great learning tool, but we need everybody wipes. You know?
Right.
We need
Right.
everybody. We need everybody scrubs. You know what I'm
Everybody
saying?
scrubs.
Everybody
too
rinses.
roughly.
And then some people finger. Some people fuck.
Some people
maybe that's in a
fudge
different
pack.
section of the book.
Reading
story.
a book to a child that's called Some People Fuck to a 5-year-old. Some of them don't. They're such horrible personalities, it never happens for them. Some people do it for a job.
Or they were
Some
cursed
people
with
don't like it. And
not
that's
having
fine.
any sexual desires, which that would be sad.
Yes, some people are ace, which is a made-up thing for nerds. No,
Oh my fucking
which is a made-up thing that nerds who get no pussy came up with. No, I'm teasing, mate. I'm teasing.
Yeah, if you're
And some
asexual,
people
we love you. It's okay.
just hate their significant others.
Yeah, if you're asexual, we love you. You're lying to yourself, but we love you.
You're living a lie, but all love. You know what I'm saying?
That's got to be the least like oppressed sexual variant is asexuality. It's
we
like
need to change that.
I never have any desires, and it's like, wow, whoa,
You're a real person.
you're really oppressed.
so hard to get in a
You're
relationship.
really a
It's like,
person.
yeah. It is actually.
Yeah, my relationships are just having a good time and being friends. It's like, wow, that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's like, what, with other men? No, with a woman. Okay. So so you're just walking around holding hands, not fucking. That's great. No one cares.
yeah. Like it's all right. Well, enjoy that.
Asexuals really been running around just they haven't gotten any flack, and I'm here to bring it to them.
Right.
Yeah, no, this is the smoke. This is the asexual smoke hour.
Your
This
time has come, all right?
Yeah, dude.
We've been doing
We're
the
just gonna-
bisexuality isn't real thing. We're doing asexuality isn't real thing.
Right.
Listen, you're the only people that like are just totally chilling out, so we're gonna make it a problem. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just-
Us white guys have been the butt of a joke for too long.
Yeah.
It's time to fuck with asexual people.
Us whites
Oh,
have had
Christ.
enough, frankly.
us straight white. Well, I guess.
Very
well,
passing.
yeah. Jordan Peterson says that asexual people aren't real.
I'm going to tell
Unless they're
myself. I'm going to tell myself to shut up for a second. Shut the fuck up for a second.
Yeah. Dude.
Wow. Okay.
It's never been done before.
Wow, dude. Don't talk to my friend like that.
First episode. I'm sorry, dude. I have to. First episode I think I've ever told myself to shut the fuck up. But shut the fuck up real quick, Connor.
Yeah, dude.
Or better yet, Connor, shut the fuck up real quick.
Sean Delius?
I forgot something.
Forget.
What is that?
I forgot to wash my gooch.
Shit.
But not your asshole.
Give it a
I
sniff.
forgot to wash my Gooch Canyon. And now there's sort of a malty, crusty goo.
No, I forgot to introduce the podcast. I feel like that was something we joked about in one of the first Woken Boke episodes. Was that video?
You daft
Which
cunt.
one?
It's
You
a
daft
fucking
cunt.
emu.
You're walking a fucking emu, you daft cunt.
They're walking an ostrich.
Walking an ostrich. It is officially, for the first time,
Ever.
it is Tuesday, October 18th, 2022. Welcome to another episode of Woken Boke.
Oh, he's sipping on the this is the blue Sour Patch Ghost. He's
Thank
going
you.
crazy.
Thank you for filling that dead air. I was worried for a second.
Oh yeah.
Episode 157 to be exact. I am one of your hosts, Connor Boyd. You may know me as Moschino Dorito from the internet, or as people incorrectly say, Moschino Dorito.
Mashina Naruto?
Get it right.
Are you Moschino Dorado?
Are you El Dorado?
Are you in an El Dorado? And I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, whatever the fuck. You may know me from Jaded Forum also. This is the first podcast I did that I'm still doing, Woken Boke. And yeah, I am joined as always, by my best friends from the great city of St. Louis, Missouri. First, we have the kitty cat himself, Max motherfucking Sands, is on the show.
What's up?
Love the shirt, Max.
Thanks, dude. Shout out Target. They went crazy.
Yeah,
Always happy.
You were
smile.
able to get that in your size.
Yeah, I got it online.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that.
Always
on Instagram.
happy.
That's nice.
Smile.
I got to make a brand called Hello Biddies, and it's about talking to girls.
That'd be sick. That'd be
Hello
tight.
Biddy.
Yo,
Biddy might. I've only heard.
That'd be tight.
I don't know if Biddy's like a really fucked up word or not. So maybe it is.
There's a fucking
I mean,
like a crypto mining like company or something right by my house, and it's called Biddies.
And is it about girls?
No, it's crypto
Women,
mining.
rather.
I mean, if you think about it, it's
Okay,
baddies, but with a different letter.
So it's an okay word to
It's
use.
true. That's true. Maybe
It's
that's
just
what it is.
baddies with a different letter. And you just be like,
Yeah.
that's your defense. Just call it that. It's
Yeah.
funner. It's more fun to say. It's funner.
It's more funner. Also joining us is the crypto god himself, Tony Harrop.
Tony Panera. Mr. Tony Panera in the building.
Antonio Banderas. How you doing, man?
Doing all right.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, is he going to say bad? Like, I almost, one day he'll say bad.
No.
Rather bad.
I think he'll be bad.
He's like, no, you'll never catch me like that, mate. I'll be good.
No.
100% of the time. Listen, every week we get together and do this. We catch up in the latest in video games, music, movie, manga, fucking anime, whatever. And you can subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everything. So you don't miss a single episode. You can tap in there. You can also join our Discord as well. We also have a Twitter at wokenbokepodcast, or at wokenbokepod rather, and the Instagram is at wokenbokepodcast. And you can get updates on the podcast when it's dropping, all that shit. Please also reach out to our Gmail, wokenbokepodcast@gmail.com with your questions, comments, and suggestions, and we will read them on the show. And links to all of these are in the show description. Fellas, what do you say we crack into some emails?
You know what?
While we are at it.
Let's do it.
Let's give it a fucking shot here.
Fucking Spinnerisky.
I'll start from the backlog here. So this comes from Seth. The subject line reads, couple of questions about Sopranos and New York travel destinations. Hello, Bokers. I've been listening to the pod since August. And currently...
Wow. So new listener.
August.
Yeah.
Relatively new. That's nice.
And currently am listening to all the episodes from the beginning while I work. I like the very conversational vibe of the show, and there have been some hilarious moments over the past years, especially Hugo Stalin. There were a few things I wanted to ask you guys about and get your take on them. First, I am currently watching The Sopranos, and I have never finished watching it all the way through before. And the first observation I have noticed about the show is that at least half of the dialogue through the first season involves some form of racial stereotyping or some serious slurs involving mostly gay or black people. It's actually interesting to me to watch a show from 23 years ago that has such tired and exhausted social norms that were considered to be acceptable at the turn of the century even. It's almost as interesting as the actual storylines being told, or maybe that's just me being easily distracted. It just feels like every character outside of Meadow harbors some form of deep-rooted hatred for others, and they make it known throughout the show. I was wondering if any of you have any similar thoughts about this, and if it was noticeable for you upon first watching the show. Secondly, I was scrolling through flights and saw that there were flights to NYC for $85 round trip. Jesus, from fucking where? Oh, Kentucky?
From New Jersey.
It's like, where, like, what is that, Spirit? I have driven through NYC, but didn't stay as I was driving to visit my significant other's family in New England. However, I always wanted to visit places like the Met and to just take in the city for what it has to offer for a weekend, Connor. Oh, wait, that was a period. Connor, I know you live in Brooklyn, but just wanted to get everyone's recommendations for someone who would like to visit the city for a fairly modest budget, even if it's going to the local bodega to get a chopped cheese in caps. I'm down. Much love, Seth from Kentucky. So that was a lot.
More than you're allowed.
Yeah, more than you're allotted. Okay, pal? Okay, pal?
So take it easy.
Make the email shorter, okay, pal? No, just kidding, man. Yeah, I guess I'll address the New York thing for. Have y'all seen The Sopranos?
I have not.
No, I've started it several times.
Okay, so this is really only a email I feel like I can react to, I guess.
Okay,
so I'll
then
be
I'm
brief.
gonna go take a shit real quick.
Okay, that's perfect.
Man,
So
he's always pooping.
yeah, he's been pooping every single episode recently.
He holds them in all week just for this episode.
Literally, it's a huge pyramid dump that's this big. It's like Jurassic Park.
Right, indistinguishable pile. There's no form to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it's like just like if you just soft serve, like, yeah, but even less form than that. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just thinking about Max poop because Max has always been like, I drink my caffeine and then I poop. That's what I do. It's interesting, but I would say, as far as New York is concerned, a chopped cheese is not that. The thing about the chopped cheese thing, by the way, is like that's like a new thing. Like that's not like a. Apparently, that's overhyped, or it's like over. It's not really that big of a New York thing for actual New Yorkers. There's other sandwiches apparently that they eat. That's not really that. I like a chopped cheese though.
What is it?
Chopped cheese is like it's basically you take a ground beef patty, you throw it on a grill, and then you throw a bunch of peppers in it, and you chop them up with the fry cook spatulas, and then you put cheese on it, and then it's like this slew of chopped beef, peppers, cheese, and then you put it on a hero with like lettuce, tomato, mayo.
Sounds like a Philly cheesesteak almost.
It's kind of like that. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what it's like, a more slutty version of that.
Oh, okay.
So, and then as far as like, I really can't recommend shit to do in NYC. I'm not like a big whatever, like, I feel like I don't get out as much as other people do. And I don't go out all the time. But I mean, to me, I just like the theaters and the museums and shit. I mean, if you can find like a speakeasy to go to, it's nice. But I don't know, man. It's just a city. It's like the touristy shit is the unique shit, basically. Unless you live here, then you would like, oh, this bar near my apartment, and then you build community with the people who go. Like, there's no real way to like shortcut living in NYC. By just visiting for a weekend, you're going to end up doing a bunch. Like, every time I ever went to New York before I moved here, I was doing touristy shit or going to museums or going to whatever. I mean, but that's great. I would recommend going to the Met. I would recommend going to some of the parks like Washington Square Park, Central Park. I would recommend, going to maybe the Metrograph or Film Forum and seeing a film. But if you don't want to see a movie while you're, trying to see a city, I would just walk around. Just try to get around to as many parts of New York as possible. You could go downtown, Tribeca. You could go near World Trade Center. All that shit. So anyways.
Staten Island.
That you got to take like a boat to get to. That's no one should ever go to Staten Island on a trip to New York unless there's something specific you want to go there. But
it's crazy. There's an entire zoo in Central Park.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's massive.
Yeah, it's a huge park. It's beautiful. You know what's fucked up about Central Park is it used to be called Seneca Village.
I didn't know
and
that.
If you Google it, Seneca Village was a 19th century settlement of mostly African American landowners in the borough of Manhattan in New York. Within what would become present day Central Park, the settlement was located near the current Upper West Side neighborhood, approximately bounded by Central Park West. And they basically got kicked out of that shit. It's fucked up.
That's tragic.
That's why they made Central Park. It's pretty insidious. But so I don't know. Look shit up, man. I don't know. I can't help you that much. I'm not really the New York. Let me show you around. I'm the native guy. I'm really not. I've only lived here for like 5 years, but
right. You could look up like a top 10 list of things to do, and it'd probably be more informative.
Right.
In terms of touristy stuff.
Yeah. There's if you look up fun shit to do in NYC, there is shit you'll find that's like legit. There's the Museum of the Moving Image too in like Astoria. That's one I want to go to pretty bad. But as far as Sopranos, yeah, I'd agree. I mean, Sopranos is like the perfect, it interrogates every single aspect of like modern American life. Like the spirituality, the family, the racial, sexual, every aspect of like our social capitalism, you know, government, masculinity, patriarchy, all these things are like, God bless you, Tony.
Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Sorry.
No problem. All these things are interrogated, and you know, I also would argue that, you know, you said show from 23 years ago that has such tired and exhausted social norms. I think you'd be surprised how not tired and exhausted those actually are at the end of the day. Still, that's what's kind of interesting about it, is it was really ahead of its time. But
Sopranos,
pooping.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Taking big lumpy dukes.
Yeah,
big lumpy doo-doo stinks.
But thank you for the email, Seth. And if you do go to New York, hope you have a good time.
You should eat some pizza.
Yeah.
You know, like a real New Yorker.
I'm going to jump to one of the more recent emails just because it seems like the other two maybe are they're less involving all of us. But we can see. This comes from Daniel. Cringe take is the subject line. How are my favorite podcasters doing? I know Tony's good, but how about Max and Connor?
Cringe take.
I wanted everyone's opinion on the Christopher Nolan DC universe. Is it too film bro cringe of me to think it would be great? I know he would probably never come back, but I think it would be a good focused world. Would it be too grounded? What are your opinions on Christopher Nolan? And would you be a fan if he had a series of DC movies? Thanks, Danny.
I think that the Suicide Squad, like the recent one, was pretty solid. And then I think that
I do too. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Well, actually, I don't even know what Christopher Nolan actually is, so I would say that
he did the Dark Knight trilogy.
Well, he did Dark Knight. So is that it?
The trilogy, though, he did all three of them.
Right, but is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, then I don't give a shit. Then I don't. Then I don't have any opinions. I'm just so fucking sick of superhero movies.
I would say that I don't want to see. I'm like, especially when it comes to Batman, I'm so tired of the grounded Batman. You know, the realistic Batman. I've been watching like a lot of the DC animated movies. And he's on some Iron Man shit in those movies, you know? He's got a fucking... You know, I know he had the Batplane or whatever in the Batman vs. Superman, but, like, I want to see him just, like, pulling gadgets out of his ass, just, like, you know, and being way, way beyond, like, what an actual human could do, you know?
Yeah.
Like, literally flipping across, like, entire rooms and, like, you know... Like, I want to see a cartoonishly powerful Batman, because that's how he is in the comics and the cartoons, you know? Whereas in Batman vs. Superman and Justice League, like he's like fighting like one parademon and everyone else is just like, you know, annihilating people. And he's just kind of like, oh, I'm a real person, so I can only do realistic stuff. It's like, well, he's a superhero, so you don't have to be restrained by that, you know?
Yeah, I think, how you said it, like an Iron Man, Batman would be cool, but I'm with Max. I'm really
cooked.
Done with superhero movies. Like,
well, I feel like we're done with them because they've all just been bad.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just like you killed it. Y'all ruined it.
That's
Y'all
the thing.
It.
Like it went too over the line. That's why I'm back into like anime and shit, because it's so outlandish and out there. Because the medium actually lets you do that. Whereas now superhero movies are just like, okay, green screen movie, because this has to be live action for some reason. We can't animate these and put them in more like interesting locales. We can't, you know, do X, Y, and Z. It's literally like everything's based in reality. Like whether or not there's parademons flying around or there's laser beams floating around, it's always just like, we're in American City. Oh no, this thing is destroying American City. And it's just like, I don't fucking care. I really don't give a shit.
I've been watching the new season of Boku no Hero Academia, and I also peeped there's 3 movies that they put out, which are and they're all like a little bit over an hour, and they're nothing too crazy, but like 2 of them especially had some really insane fight scenes and stuff. And the new season is fire so far. Like it's really just been a big battle so far. 3 episodes in. And I'm like, man, they need, like, if Marvel or DC were smart, they would make this kind of show. This level of animation or better because they can afford it. And fucking My Hero Academia, like they juggle like 40 characters. So there's no reason that they couldn't do that with like a fucking dozen members of the Justice League or whatever the fuck.
Right.
That's the best superhero shit out right now is My Hero Academia.
Yeah, easily. They're focusing on the villains.
Yeah. I got to catch up.
Yeah.
But anyways.
3 episodes in. It's pretty good so far.
So to wrap up,
we didn't address his actual question. The Chris Nolan DC universe. I would also say I don't want Chris Nolan to make anything but Chris Nolan movies for the rest of his life. I want him to make shit like Tenet and Oppenheimer and weird movies like that.
It's too much his own style.
Yeah, I don't want these stylistic directors to make anything I don't want them to have to focus on anything that's already an established franchise. Like I don't want, these, I guess for lack of a better word, premier like directors who like have a dedicated style, prestige, like very established in their own style directors. I don't want them to do anything that with a franchise that already exists. Like I'm fucking sick of people just being like, well, what if we did Batman, but Chris Nolan did it, and it's like that was cool when The Dark Knight happened, but now it's just like a thing that I feel like people are going to start gravitating towards, like the whole hullabaloo of the Zack Snyder Justice League thing, because it's just like, okay, neat, like it was a whole fucking thing, but it was just like it was a 4-hour movie, and then at the end of it, I was still just like, okay, it was Justice League, like it.
Yeah, when Batman Begins came out, I saw that when I was in like 5th, 6th grade with my dad in the freezing cold, because I think it came out in like the winter time, and there weren't superhero movies out at that time. It was like, okay, yeah, the Spider-Man trilogy that kind of was wrapping up, and then that was basically it.
You had
the X-Men. It was like these movies that were like, it was pre like Marvel universe, so it wasn't like they're building something. It was just like one-off movies. And it was just,
some of them were bad, like Fantastic Four and shit like that. So
a lot of them
was still, the viability was still kind of up in the air, and people were like, "Oh, what if you do it super realistic, like Nolan does?" Then people fucked with that.
And I still think Batman Begins is one of the best superhero movies ever made. And in fact, I like that a lot more than quite a few other movies. I mean,
it's like neck and neck with Dark Knight. Like I know Dark Knight is everyone's favorite, but like
Batman Begins is like it has fewer flaws than Dark Knight. Dark Knight is kind of like there's some weird clunky parts to it, but it's still fire.
Yeah, when he leaves the party with the Joker still inside, that's like the part I always think about. Like he jumps out the window after his girlfriend and he crashes in a car, and then it just cuts like to the next day. And you're like, what?
Yeah, it's just
anyways.
There's a whole rumor about Tarantino like wanting to do a Star Trek film. To what you were saying, Max, it's like, I don't need like someone who has their own like very like distinguishable style to like do a franchise.
I don't need someone to take their specific tonality and apply it to the same narrative that every superhero story is going to be. Like that's the fatal flaw in superhero movies as a genre, is that like the plot and the arc and there's nothing narratively new to do there.
It's because they don't have any balls to do anything different. Like I watched this the movie Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, and it basically starts with the whole Justice League being like, oh shit, Darkseid's like destroying planets. We got to go take the fight to him before he comes and destroys us. They go and they all get wiped out. pretty much, except for Superman. And like Batman gets taken by Darkseid and basically gets like programmed to be his like right hand man. So he's just like this badass dude in like a chair, like being Darkseid's like, you know, operator or whatever. And then like he has like Flash like powering his whole planet, running on a treadmill, and he's got Cyborg hooked up as like his security system, and like everyone's dead. Yeah. And so many fucking heroes die in it and shit, and just get like you see the Bat family fighting off parademons, and they just get eaten alive. Like exactly. It was like fire. I was like, wow, this like feels like there's stakes. You know, because it's really dark.
Here's the thing that like I think that kind of just awakened me is just like, as someone who's so fucking sick of this shit, like what I would want to see out of like, I don't want to see a movie about a superhero. And maybe this exists and I'm just out of the loop, but like I want to see a fucking movie about like a fucking regular person living in like a hellscape of like anti-heroes. And it's just like a story of like a Last of Us kind of fucking, not Last of Us, but like a normal person against a world of supervillains kind of thing.
It's sort of like The Boys.
Okay, but like,
is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I haven't seen The Boys, but like something that's not like it's not even like a triumphant thing. It's almost like a suspense, like thriller horror thing. I'm just like, holy shit, I am helpless in this scenario because everyone, like, you know, the world, like I'm under a superhero fascist state kind of thing, you know, like maybe that exists somewhere, but it's like less of a triumph story. It's more of like an escape story, you know, just something that's not like, we must overcome this thing because I don't fucking care anymore. That takes away the entire point of watching the fucking movie when it comes down to superhero shit, because no one's going to make a substantive superhero movie that like isn't hinging on the resolution of the conflict at the end. If that makes any sense.
No, it does.
I feel like
it's funny you mentioned that though, because that's like actually an idea that I had, was like the main character is like a powerless person, and it's almost like you know, like Zombieland, how he's like, this is what you got to do to survive in this fucking dystopian superhero world.
And you're not rooting for them to win. You're just rooting for them to live. Like, you're just like, holy shit, like, get out of it, you know, kind of thing. Because there's no win. Like, a situation, and I want to see a superhero movie with a no-win scenario. That's what I want to see.
Definitely. It would be, because, the good guy always wins is it's done, you know?
Yeah. Or like the trilogy thing where it's like, oh, we'll let the middle movie, we'll let them lose then, and then we'll make them win. You know, it's just like, no, I want someone to fucking lose, like flat out. And I want it to not be the superhero. I want it. Yeah. It's like, I want to, you know, I want to experience the inverse of what current tropes are, basically, because I feel like there's way more interesting stuff to do with that prompt than just being like an underdog story or like a superhero, you know, it's just like, nah, man, fucking show me the carnage.
That's why Suicide Squad was carnage. That's why Suicide Squad was decent, because, you know, there weren't really any good guys in it. Dude, the fucking scene where they're just taking out the whole camp while they're sleeping or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then the twists at the end of that shit had me
like, those are our
dying.
Guys. What the fuck?
They brutally murder like 30 of this woman's like private, like, you know, or whatever, her like super close homies in her squad, and they just annihilate them.
And they're like, oh wait, these are your guys? Like, oh shit, my bad.
Yeah, that shit was good.
Yeah.
Funny movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take us to another question here we got from Nathan. Serious question for the Boke boys is the subject line. Happy Monday, possibly Tuesday. Last week, you guys asked for some more serious questions for you to give your opinions, advice on, so I'd like to run something by you. I'm from Oklahoma, and I'm also an atheist. It's sometimes difficult to live here considering, not cool, dude, how many views run so contrary to everyone else around me. And it's only gotten worse with the current upswing in Christian nationalism. I'd like to know if you all hold any religious beliefs, and why or why not. As always, thanks for the great content. Congrats to Connor on the Restorage pilot and on the incredible Jaded Forum. Like and subscribe. do that. I agree. Big ups to Max for all the kick-ass touring shit. And I guess congrats to Tony for being completely unbothered by life's struggles. This is a real fan.
For real.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Much love, Nathan
Real.
H.
Looked into my soul. Yeah.
Who wants to jump in on this one first?
Real.
Religious beliefs. Do you have any?
I just don't care. I don't
We should all give context that we all grew up going to Catholic schools our whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Even together for 3 years.
inundated in Catholicism.
Yeah.
I just don't care. I try not to think about it because the present reality that I'm in right now is so poignant and it exists. So I'm gonna focus on that right now. Because
What does that word mean again?
like strong,
Poignant?
smelly,
Isn't that pungent?
intent, pungent, intense. Present. But yeah, I don't know. Fucking I mean God's chill if that's your dude.
If that's your guy.
If that's your guy, that's chill. Me and the homie, not really the homies these days. So me and Jesus don't really get along a whole lot anymore.
Yeah, I was raised hella Catholic, but there's just so much stuff that they teach that that doesn't sit right with me.
Mm-hmm.
That it's hard for me to consider being Catholic. You know.
Yeah. I'm really not religious. I'm interested in like Zen and Buddhism and Taoism and things like that. Just extremely casually, passerby. That's basically it. You know, I've done enough acid to know that y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like,
know the secrets of the universe.
Y'all don't know what the hell's going on. You have no idea what the fuck chamber your perception is locked into that keeps you from seeing what this actual field of energy that we exist in really is. Y'all don't have any idea. So that's basically where I stand it too.
Right. Yeah. It's like, okay, if I do some bad shit, do I need to, endure an eternity of suffering? Like I can't get down with that,
Right.
The funny thing is that this reality is worse than hell because at least in hell, the people that are in hell deserve to be there. Whereas here, people suffer and don't deserve it. So,
Exactly.
And then if you're good, it's like, okay, then you go and live in a paradise forever. And then what?
Yeah. Honestly, the idea of an infinite heaven freaked me the fuck out as a kid because infinite consciousness is a nightmare to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I feel and outside of that realm of shit, I do feel like Christianity is kind of a fucking cancer specifically. Because I can't think of a more like cherry picked religion. Like I read the Bhagavad Gita recently and I was like, oh, these guys, like Hinduism is literally just like, hey, be chill. Be chill about it, like be like don't be an impatient dick. And that was more or less what I got from it. Whereas Christianity is just like, well, in this, it says something ambiguous about, jizzing on the ground. So we're going to take that as gay people should be bashed over the head. And it's just like, well,
stoned.
I think you're willingly choosing to do that. So that's not to say like all religions but Christianity are like flawless, but like I've read enough of the Bible to know that I would prefer referring to the Bhagavad Gita as a moral guideline than the fucking Bible. Because goddamn, the Bible is just a funny book. Like it's not.
It is.
I don't think it's worth being taken seriously. Because goddamn, it's just a silly book.
Killing your firstborns and stuff. Like what is that about?
Yeah, there's so much ridiculous shit. What's that about? What? There's
babies,
nothing. There's no interpretation there. That could be bad. There's no.
That could be bad.
Yeah,
this
it's like
can only turn out well.
Christianity is too open-ended for the amount of stupid people that follow it. I think that's the way to put it.
Or it's so open-ended that a lot of stupid people follow it.
Yeah, like it's
kind of like palm reading or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing.
It's the exact same thing. They both result in the same amount of war and bloodshed.
Equally, yeah. 100%.
Equally.
The palm reading crusades.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my Christ.
Okay, we got another question here
Oh,
from, I don't know if it's a question or what it is, but the subject line is Ichi the Killer.
Oof.
This comes from Rio, or Rayo. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. What's good, Bokers? Dude, I love how I love that. That people have adopted the lingo.
Legendary.
I don't think I've emailed you, fellas, but I'm a big fan and figured it was my civic duty to send you. It is to send you a question so that it's not just the same dude writing to you every week. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Y'all know who you are. It's so funny because it's like I am annoyed that it is the same fucking guys, but I am also like, I don't want them to stop. Like, it's fun, you know?
I'm just mad
but it
at
is
you.
like, God damn, I'm not, you know, I want a variety, but love all y'all, dude.
Don't stop, though.
Don't stop.
Dude, no, I'm just kidding.
This is already chill, though, that you're recognizing that, acknowledging that. I just checked Letterboxd and was surprised to see that Connor watched and reviewed Ichi the Killer. I'm not proud to say this, but during my edgy phase through high school, Ichi was my favorite movie. I've spent an embarrassing amount of time with it, and I'd say that Connor's review more or less aligns with whatever I'd have to say about it. I'm writing all to ask if there are any movies you love but can't recommend for one reason or another. Ichi was my introduction to my current favorite director, Takashi Miike. Most folks just know Ichi the Killer or Audition because they're shocking, but his other works is no joke. Of his other films, I'd have to recommend The Happiness of Katakuri's Gozu and Ley Lines. Okay, word. I'm going to add those to my list.
We meant to watch Gozu.
Gozu was on my list. I also wanted to give thanks for the shout out on the pod a couple years ago. My Instagram used to be dickshit2000, but I've since rebranded to TGDDS. Wait, TGDS2K. So
Okay,
it's like
got you.
TG Dick
Copy
Shit
that.
2K. If you don't remember, I was dude who watched your Akira watch along on my VCR. I love the pod, but I do remember that. I also remember the name Dick Shit 2000.
Yeah, you're goated.
You are goated. I love the pod, but I especially love the movie watch alongs. Keep up the great work, fellas. Or he didn't even say that. He said, keep up the good work, folks. Much love, Rio, like Leo. Got you. P.S. Fever Dream needs to hit Chicago again because I missed the last show. P.S. If y'all ever need Shroomingtons in, he didn't say that, but I'm saying that. If y'all ever need shrooms in St. Louis, let me know because my buddy is set up out there.
Gangles.
Well, that's very
Wow.
very nice, man.
For the record, Fever Dream hasn't played Chicago, so you didn't miss anything. So
he missed the last show because it didn't happen.
Exactly. You missed the last Fever Dream Chicago show because there wasn't one.
Maybe he's mixing that up with
Lobby Boxer
you
played
on
there
tour
in
or Lobby Boxer
August or something. We played there in August, but yeah, Fever Dream hasn't played up there yet. But thanks.
Gotcha.
We'll let you know.
Yeah, I mean, on Ichi the Killer, Tony, I don't think you've seen it, but it's like this really. It starts with a really violent assault on a woman that's really hard to watch, and then
it's a
it's
tough
like
start.
there's a lot of that throughout the movie that it's just like that's why I don't recommend anyone watch it because it's just like this is some egregious shit. Like
Is this a foreign film?
This is a Japanese movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is on the whole, it is I think it's a pretty fantastic, unique movie, and I like
Absolutely.
his directorial vision. But yeah,
It's
I'm going to watch
brutal,
those
like,
other ones.
On like an irreversible level?
No, it's more irreversible is really realistic. It's like really grounded. This it's more like fanaticized. It's like comic book. It's based off a manga, so
okay.
it's pretty rough. But there's a lot of great parts to the movie. But it is one of those things where like a teenage boy would think it's really edgy and cool, but as an adult, you're like, this is fucked. Like I couldn't show this to any of my, women friends or like this is fucked.
I am trying to
it's
find
kind of like
the best part of that movie though.
and then also it's just like other. I don't know. With me, it's like I don't think it's immoral to depict violence against women in movies. I just think that it makes them a little bit harder to share with people or recommend because not everyone's down for that. Not everyone's gonna give the space to be like, all right, this sucks, but like maybe there's and I will say, you talk about is it justified that this happens in the movie or whatever. And it's tough. It's tough to say. I think it does set a tone that like this guy is like a monster, or like it sets the tone that like this film is going to depict really brutal violence. Yeah. But it's also like, I don't know. It's a discussion. It's kind of hard to really pin down.
That said, there is this shot in the movie which is great. He slaps him so hard he falls
slaps
over.
His son. The kid he slaps is Ichi, and he slaps him so hard, he falls over. It's pretty funny. Awesome. But yeah.
So there is that. But yeah,
good movie. Wouldn't recommend watching it, or I would recommend it with an asterisk.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I can't think of any movies where it's like I love it, but I can't recommend it.
Yeah, I think
I love Irreversible, but I don't just recommend anyone go watch that. That's a horrifying film.
Right. I was going to say the same thing about Climax, which is another one of Gaspar's movies. Is just like, but that's that one I would recommend because it's not like there's nothing like super heinous in it, but it is pretty fucking disturbing.
It's about like a bad acid trip, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like about this dance troupe like finishes rapping on rehearsals for a show, and then like on their like at their rap party, someone spikes the punch with a shitload of LSD, and like it was like completely improv essentially. So like the movie had no scripted dialogue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they actually do acid?
No. But it's pretty wild. Like there's some shit in there that's just like, oh man, it's just like, damn.
Did they portray any like visuals that the characters are seeing?
No,
it's just more like
it's
a sober person's perspective of what
it's like psychological.
Like. Also, no
visual.
No, it's a very artistically shot. It's a very stylized movie, but it is not. It's not like a first person perspective of. It's not like a sober person watching a tripping person or a tripping person watching us. It's like,
right.
It's a fly on the wall, like kind of horror-scape of like, this is what when you take agency away from a group of 15 people and they do unknowingly, this is what happens. Like this, kind of thing. And it's just kind of like it's an exercise in human depravity, I would say. Unsuspecting human depravity.
I'll have to peep it.
It's good, dude. I would recommend it. But yeah, it's kind of there's some moments in there where like, woof.
We'll watch it on our next trip.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
No.
Let's do the exact opposite.
I don't think
of that,
shall.
Actually. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Because and we've done enough acid to where you watch it, and you're like, oh yeah, I can see. I
remember that
how
part.
it would get. No, like I can see. Yeah, it's like I can see how this assemblage of people would reach these conclusions, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good movie though. Great.
Yeah.
Movie. Yeah. But shout out TGDS 2K, my guy.
Dick shit.
The goat.
The goat dick shit 2000. Yeah. Dick shit 2000.
Is that all the emails?
I believe so.
That is
the emails.
Dude, Rings of Power, or not Rings of Power. Sorry. House of Dragon. House of Dragon Power has been great. Really.
I've heard.
Like really?
Really nice. Really good stuff, I thought. Every episode, I don't know if every episode has been better than the last, but like, it's just crazy how little of a shit I wanted to give and how they've managed to reel me back in, you know? Like it
Right.
feels like I'm watching what I loved about the original Game of Thrones run, you know?
I don't want to think about Game of Thrones. They fucked it up.
Right. Well,
for me,
that
bro.
was me. I was like, I don't give a shit about the Game of Thrones world.
I just still don't. They took it away from me.
Well, I'm just like it's funny because it's like this series is also going to run out of material at some point too, and it'll be interesting to see how good that shit is once you don't have source material.
Yeah.
Well, it leads up to. I mean, so the main character is 8 generations before Daenerys in Game of Thrones, so they got a lot of time to. I'm wondering if it'll cover that whole 200-year span. But in this first season, it's already there's like 2 time jumps. One's like, or maybe 3. There's like a year, and then 10 years, and then 6 years, and you see like characters that were kids are now like grown up and shit. And it really like adds to, I don't know, the gravitas of the show. You're like, damn, like fucking a decade passed, and like her kids are grown up, and you know, one of them's crazy or whatever, and I don't know,
right?
Just like every week, like it's been forever since a show has been released weekly where I'm like hyped for it to come out that night. Like it's tonight. Technically, we're recording today, Sunday night. I think the second to last episode. So, and I'm really stoked. So
nice.
It's nice to have that again instead of just all dropping at once or something like that.
Yeah, Connor, ever since you mentioned that like TV writers need source material to make anything even remotely watchable, it's kind of like ruined my ability to perceive shit like that without thinking, goddamn.
What about Ozark?
They fucked it up.
There you go.
You kind of, that's the point. They kind of fucked up
like
that
the ending.
No.
We did talk about that.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It was fine. Like it was fine. Like it wasn't like great. It was
no, it wasn't the best part of the show, but it wasn't. I don't think it was like Game of Thrones.
I feel like most TV shows don't end well.
Yeah, like
it's all about the ride.
It's a steep decline, which is fine. But Tony, it's fine when the ride is like 6 years long. It's not like, hey, yeah, we're just gonna stretch out. Yeah, honey, hi. Yeah, we got 3 good seasons, and then it's gonna be a dumpster fire. Okay. Yeah,
I wouldn't say it was
thanks.
a dumpster fire. That's kind of a stretch.
I mean, the last season, it was a race to the bottom. Like, they built it up. The first half of the season, they built it up so solidly. And then, like, the last half of that season just kind of, like, poked so many holes in the bottom of the boat. It made the first half of the season like, oh, actually, yeah, this was kind of just got away from us.
Interesting.
They kind of lost the plot on it. I don't know, dude. I'm still just like, I wish that Breaking Bad was the standard, you know? Maybe that's just like old man yells at cloud.
Yeah, no, it's the best ending to a TV show I've seen.
Yeah, it's just
like the most tied up ending.
Especially for a show about selling drugs. Like, Weeds fucked it up, and then Breaking Bad got it right. And now it's just like, okay, cool. We have the standard, and no one's really sticking to the standard.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I've been watching the show Gangs of London. 1 season out right now. Only 9 episodes, but the new season is premiering now, and that show is pretty fire. Like, there's some action scenes. Yeah, there's some fight scenes in it that are on some John Wick shit. No joke.
That's fire.
There's a really dope fight scene where it's like a 1v1, and it's a huge dude with like a butcher knife. And it gets fucking bloody. And then there's one with a 1v1 fight with a dude versus a dude with an axe.
In what show?
Gangs of London.
Oh, is this an anime or is this a show?
It's a show. It's on. So you can. It kind of sucks. It's on AMC Plus, but you can do a free trial on Amazon. That's what I'm doing.
Interesting.
I'm going to keep it though because the new season's coming out, so I'll pay for a month of it. But the first episode's free though, so you can peep that if you want to see what it's about. Because there's a really dope fight scene in the first episode that drew me in. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. So
I'm finna do this.
2 episodes left of it. There's an episode with some torture in it that's really brutal.
Oof.
And then there's an episode where they like siege like a farmhouse, and it's like one of the more dope like gunfight sort of breaching house scenes I've seen. Yeah, good actors, and they all have crazy accents. Very Cockney. But yeah,
clean.
I recommend that. Gangs of London.
Very clean. Nice.
Well, I am done. So
yeah, I'm tired as fuck. God.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking
I got other shit to do. Got a
No, you
Jaded
don't.
meeting. Got to fucking
No,
clean
you
my
don't.
apartment. Got to fucking watch Jaded and get it time stamped.
I've got to go drive
Oh,
on
an
Eaton
asshole.
Avenue.
Good for you.
Yeah, a real
Happy
street.
Yeah,
for
man.
you.
I love you guys. Love the Woken Boke boys, the Woken Boke audience, the Friendship Militia.
Write in more, please.
Yeah,
Like takes up almost the whole show. You know, I
Yeah.
don't even got to think about anything.
dude.
Yeah,
please.
make us not think.
Yeah,
Please
we
do it.
hate doing
Do
that,
our
but we do it
job.
for you.
I
But
hate
if you could
thinking.
just do your job and write into us,
Do your job and write to us, dude.
Do your job and do our job.
and sub to
Right.
the YouTube.
Yeah. Ringy
Big boy.
Powie.
Ringy Powie has
Housey
been very
Draggy.
bad. Housey Draggy, he's been good, but Ringy Powie, I think the last episode just premiered and it was not well.
Well,
The whole series.
That sucks. We'll talk about it next week.
Crazy.
Hopefully not. Actually,
Yeah,
It's
actually,
best-
we'll not talk about it next week.
they're taking 2 years to make the next season, and it's just like, dude, no one is gonna be anticipating that.
All right.
Just cut your losses, bro.
They should just not make TV anymore. I think that's where
Right.
we're headed. You heard it here
We should
first,
get-
folks.
Yeah.
No more TV.
End TV. Yeah.
No more TV.
We're done.
It melts your brain.
TV's out.
Turns
All
it
right,
into
folks.
poopy-doo.
Well, thank you for listening. Have a great week.
Super.
And yeah, write into us. Welcome Boke forever, motherfuckers. Peace the fuck out.
Later.